Hello, everybody, and welcome to IMAGI-NATION TV. And this week, we're going to wrap up our theme of empathy. And just this morning, I had a very good experience with empathy where I had to talk to one of my other personalities. I think there's a few there. And I had a tantrum. And I thought, okay, well, with my tantrum, I'm going to channel all of my energy into a turbo clean. And I went around the house like really stroppily cleaning everything up. So I'd love to know on the chat line, what is the best use you have had with a tantrum? How have you channeled it into some really productive energy? We've got a great lineup today joining us for the artist segment. There's been lots of wisdom coming through. Mike Stewart was unbelievable yesterday, reflecting on his career as a world champion bodyboarder and then distilling down how you get to the summit. You know, set a goal, have a notebook, write down your dreams, talk to people about them out loud, hold yourself accountable, and then try as much as you possibly can to follow that energy inside of you that has led you to write that goal down, and then get back up and go again and keep rolling through. Today, we have Rianne Miller joining us to co-host to wrap up a week of being a part of co-hosting. Rhi, how are you feeling about the show?
Feeling really good. This is probably one of my favourite segments, being able to hear all of the different kinds of art forms come together.
And you paint yourself, Rhi. What does art do for you when you're painting?
Art for me is just a chance for me to be able to channel out everything that's happening around and just to focus on myself and to have some me time, and to do that through expressing.
Awesome. Well, let's get into our artist challenge. We've got a short video that's going to get us going. Before we get to that, we'll check in with this Hoodie Pays Rent, which is an initiative we launched a couple of weeks ago to help people pay rent during this time. So you can register as a hoodie connector on aimmentoring.com, and 50% of the hoodie goes towards helping you pay your rent and 50% goes to help us mentor kids. So just a reminder as to why we're gathered here today. IMAGI-NATION TV is working to bring a mentor into every kid's home every single day. There's 1.5 billion kids have been affected by COVID in their education and are sitting at home trying to work out what to do. And my message to educators out there is there's never been a bigger opportunity for a revolution. 200 years of education, inheriting a Prussian system which has taught us how to follow orders, does not prepare kids for the 21st century. We now have a moment to completely catapult ourselves into a reimagining of education, and including designing a system that supports kids outside the margins. And that's what we're here to do. And we're stoked to have a group joining us today. So check out this Hoodie Pays Rent, and then we'll be back to jump into the Artist Challenge. Okay, we're now going to jump into our artist challenge, and we have a really cool group. We have 4 artists coming together. So KirliSaunders, TahniHolmes, Barc the Dog, Brother Asanti, and they're on the other side of this video.
Is there even?
Lloyd on the chat line saying, I've channeled lots of bad moods into exercise. Boxing and walking can be very cathartic. Grace Douglas changed my whole HSC major work at the last minute after a tantrum and ended up getting a great mark. So here's to tantrums. Today's a great day for having empathy with yourself. Hey, Kirli, tell me how you're feeling about this artist challenge and what does empathy mean to you? So I think we'll try that again because I don't think we unmuted you. So let me go again. 1, 2, 3. Kirli, what does empathy mean to you and how are you feeling about today's artist challenge?
Yeah, I'm excited and a little bit nervous. Thanks so much for having me on. I really love the work of AIM. I'm going to be taking a poem and turning it into an artwork. So it's a interesting experience, and yeah, I'm excited. Empathy for me is showing kindness to others and to yourself, putting yourself in other people's shoes, and trying to strive towards the best world that we can. And it's a pleasure to be being kind to ourselves and to each other in this moment now. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. You go get creating. Hey, Barc the Dog, what's happening? How are you?
Yeah, this is happening right now. What's going on?
Man, we're about to just check out your creative talent as you go for it under a microscope for 20 odd minutes. Where do you start when you get going with creating?
Well, I always start in my handy dandy sketchbook here. So today I'm gonna try to do an animation within the given time. I've cheated a little bit and started sketching out some drawings, which I'll then be transferring over to the computer and animating for you guys. A little bit of Barc empathy.
Perfect. You go get them. Go away with your Barc empathy and go get them. TahniHolmes, how are you feeling about your creation? What have you got for us today?
Feeling good. I'm really excited. I'm going to make a little Banksia out of ceramics. So I'm really inspired at the moment by all of nature. So I'm going to make one of these for you guys.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, you go get creating. And Brother Asanti, we've got you there. What are you going to do for us over the course of the 20 odd minutes?
Wow. So basically making a beat, and I think Kyah is going to ride on it. So I guess the vibe is empathy. So my understanding, or I guess my interpretation of it through music.
Very, very cool. Okay, we'll come back to you and see how you're progressing throughout the show. Now we're going to jump into our first performer for the day. We've got Yara Alkurd. Yara, how are you? Can't quite hear you with the audio. Let's just try that again and see if this works. Just if I say, Yara, how are you? We might come back to you, Yara, and then we'll jump in with
Hello,
you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we got you.
Oh, yeah, you got me. Amazing.
The internet came to our
sorry.
Hey, how you feeling?
Yeah, really good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you tell me the first time in your life you ever realized what the word empathy meant?
Yes, I think I was having a bit of a hard relationship with my mum, and she was going through some hard things that I didn't understand. And I think the first time I realized what empathy was when I decided to take it easy on her, and even though I didn't understand why I should, I just decided to be a bit softer and be like, I'm gonna have some empathy, and then I'll begin to understand later.
I had a very fascinating hour and a half with my almost 2-year-old daughter from 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., which may have led to a little bit of my tantrum afterwards. And all she wanted to do was say, no, I don't like it. I don't want it. No, I don't like it. I don't want it. And I spoke to my dad afterwards. I was like, Dad, was I very frustrating to you as a kid at all? And yeah, I had a very good moment of empathy with him. Yara, all yours. Take us away. Can't wait to hear your song. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to be sponsoring a song for $100. It's not a huge contribution, but it's a little bit that we can do for the artists to help keep ticking things along during these tough times. So someone from the audience, if you want to sponsor a song and sponsor Yara's song today, hit us up in the chat line and we'll get going and support your work. Thanks so much for coming and joining us on IMAGI-NATION TV. Yara Alkurd, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This is such a beautiful thing and I'm chuffed to be involved. This song is called Man Hater, and it's about the way that society treats women that don't accept the way things are and try to make a change. Don't need you to tell me I can't get home after 10. And I'm not the kind of girl that has to wait around for him to pick me up. Yeah, I think I'm too grown up. It's hard enough without my freedom. Need to do it right. Keep trying to give me a reason. Give up without a fight, and you call me a man hater. Oh, man hater. Man hater. Man hater. Man hater. Man hater. Oh, man. Can't tell you what to do. Can't tell you. Done with being your disasters. Remember when she said no, first and second time you asked her. It's hard enough without my demons. I'm keeping peace with all my mind. Keep trying to give me good reasons. Give up without a fight, and you call me a man hater. Oh, man hater. Man hater. Man hater. Man hater. Man hater. Oh, man. Can't tell you what to do. Can't tell you what to say. You know the right thing. Do what you can do another day. Can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what to say. You know the right thing. Do what you can do another day. Don't need your opinion, I can speak for myself. Worth of my words is how I measure the weight of my wealth. Women of the world, if you're wondering, it's time to raise hell. Won't go quiet, whisper, pretty happy, just risking it. Don't wage war at the glass boys on the roof. When they fall and shatter, it's you. Sharpen your weapons of wit, fill the cracks in the fault line. Tell them you don't get to decide, it's mine. Sister, no, my heart beats the same rhythm as you. When you're complicit in the misters, make you dance to that tune. Even the odds make you accept it's that they win and we lose. Sister, I said the song's for we. Let me vibe with your divine feminine energy. Give me your hand, we rise, we transcend the hurt. Let me your voice revolutionize this women's work.
Don't know how many times left me hurting, sad and angry. I never said I hate you, so maybe stop your hating, baby. It's hard enough without my needness. Still need to do it right. Keep trying to give me excuses. I'm still gonna call you out. Oh, you know I woman hater. Oh, woman hater. Woman hater. Oh, woman. A woman hater. Oh, woman hater. Woman hater. Ooh, hater. Woman hater. Ooh, hater. Woman hater. Oh, woman hater. Oh, woman hater. Ooh, woman hater.
Thank you.
Yara, thank you. With people on the chat line saying, Grace Douglas said, girl got pipes. Bianca Davino said, love with heaps of ease this. Tiana Larkin said, I wish I had vocals like this. Krisha Tubal said, loving this with 4 exclamation marks. Thank you for not only creating beautiful music, but for sending us really important messages and fighting for equality with your story. I think artists with a moral compass are critical. And the more that we have people like you that are out there and helping us understand ideas and make sense of it and work through it is the better we're going to be. So thank you for joining us on the show today. And I think the internet at some point went a little bit wacky, and for some little bits we couldn't hear your beautiful magical voice. So sorry to people on the other side. I can't control the internet, and I don't ever want to. That's a freaky thing if you had any control of that. Yara, thanks for joining us. You're a champion.
Thank you.
Okay, Curly, where are we at? What's happening? What's your update?
There were some funny things.
Very cool.
Exciting. Yeah, I'm following the path that spirit would take you on if it was guiding you to take care of scar trees. So more on that soon.
Show us a little bit of the artwork again, just let's have another look.
We've got a tree happening over this side. It's top down.
Yeah.
And our pattern's leading out from there.
Very, very cool. And we're going to go over and check out how Barc the Dog is going. Barc, where are you at so far in your challenge? What's happening?
Oh gosh. I've vastly underestimated the time limit. But I got a roach here, Barc. So basically, I'm going to show you what I got here. Can you see this? Oh, a little messy. But yeah, Barc is with this roach. Sorry, very unprofessional here. Barc is with this roach. This roach, he's about to eat this burger, which I don't have yet. He's about to eat this burger. This roach comes up, and then he sees the roach, and he offers the roach a bite, and the roach eats the entire thing. So
I think that makes perfect sense in my mind. I think there's always a burger there that we can't quite reach. Rianne, have you got any questions for Barc?
I'd just love to know how we can make that roach somehow fit into the theme of empathy, whether he's thinking about other people eating the burger, whether he's going to share it, or if he's, what's going to happen with it.
Right. So the concept is that Barc is like really, really wanting to eat this burger. He's like crazed for it. And then this roach crawls up his back over the top, and he notices him, and the roach, gives he's going to give 2 little antenna waves, and then Barc will offer him the burger.
This is the most sense that the world has made to me the last 60 seconds. Keep going, Barc. You're doing great. Hey, going over to Tahni. How are you going, Tahni? Where are we at?
Good. So I'm adding just all the little seed pods that come out of the banksia.
Beautiful.
And then through them, and incense smoke comes out of them and rises.
Very, very cool. And we've got brother Asanti. How are you going with your beat for Kyah? We might come back to you after the next song. Couldn't quite grab the audio, but we'll come back to you in a second. All right, Izzi, how are you?
Hey, Jack.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us and being a part of this. Why do you get up out of every morning and find a way to tell stories in the way that you do?
That's a good question. I think I have to. I think I'm compelled to do it. I feel like that's a through line with a lot of artists, that it's a compulsion. And I know when I'm not telling stories and I'm not writing, I'm miserable, and I'm just terrible to be around, essentially.
Have you got a message for a 15-year-old out there who's trying to make sense of today? There's, school's already tough enough as it is for a lot of kids that don't quite fit the mold. A lot of artists I know, sort of stand outside of the world often and are looking in, and throughout history, artists have wandered for us into different places that some of us are not brave enough to go with their imagination and gone and freed themselves for us to explore new worlds. As kids are trying to make sense of today and imagine what tomorrow looks like, a lot of us, all sitting at home, have you got any messages for any 14, 15-year-olds out there at the moment?
Yeah, I think this time is a fantastic time to be an outsider, and for the outsiders. I mean, I think for anyone who feels like they don't fit in and is struggling with the status quo, particularly with school, now's a great time, because everything's changed. The rules don't apply. The status quo is out the door. So if I had any advice, I think empathy for me is being able to sit with your own inner child. And like you were saying before, Jack, sitting with that part of yourself, and that can be a really quick check-in. I think a lot of the time we forget that our emotions and our heads are like all in story all the time. It's always story. And we forget to check in with our bodies and just allow the feeling or accept the feeling. A lot of people don't know what that actually means, but if you think about checking in with your body, where you feel a sensation, whether it's, like you were saying, an anger or a tantrum or sadness or something, you just feel it in your body, and you start to feel the sensation, and then you pretend that it's like you're in a house with all the doors and windows open, and you just let that feeling pass through. No judgment, no story, not that's this, that's that time I was really upset about this. You just let it pass. That would be my advice.
It's a beautiful idea.
Great time to go in.
Absolutely. Well, let's open up the doors. Let's open up your music. Let's open up the speakers, and let's get you to have a beautiful song for us. And thanks for joining us on IMAGI-NATION TV. Izzi, over to you.
Thank you. I'm going to do something a bit different for me today. I'm going to play a new song that I've never played live. So there's going to be probably a few mistakes, and I'm just going to be really empathetic with myself about that. All right, hang on, give me a sec. I don't have a sound guy. Oh, yeah. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I was little, I waited for the one, like a true bird. Tunnel of love, tell me, are you tough enough? Don't wanna say it out loud, but I have a dream. Don't wanna tell anyone in case it doesn't come true for me. So I blow the candles out and make a wish come true for me, baby, like a birthday wish. Come true for me, baby, like a birthday wish. Come true for me, baby. And
I saw you, I knew you were the one. You and I in love, walking out of every tragic party on and on. Don't wanna say it out loud, but I have a dream. Don't wanna tell anyone in case it doesn't come true for me. So I blow the candles out and make a wish. Come true for me, baby, like a birthday wish. Come true for me, baby, like a birthday wish. Come true for me, baby, come true. So I blow the candles out and make a wish. Come true for me, baby, like a birthday wish. Come true for me, baby, like a birthday wish. Come true for me, baby, like a birthday wish. Come true for me, baby.
Izzy, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for gifting us with that song, for being brave and empathetic with yourself, and for not being afraid to jump in the deep end and to
That's
experience.
what it's all about.
Yeah, it's unreal. And you know, throughout the song,
voice of God. Hang on, no, it's not.
Yeah, throughout the song, I found myself, you know, connecting with the song and changing it into different emotions that I've felt and being able to understand those words on a personal level. So I'd love to know really quickly before we hand it over to the comments line, do you create art for yourself, or do you create it to allow others to feel what you're feeling or to provoke emotion in them?
That's a good question. I think both. I'm always thinking about, sometimes a song like this one comes as an idea, and I think of the concept of the song. Like with this song, it was making a wish on something. Like you're a little kid and you make your birthday wish, and you're not supposed to tell anyone in case it won't, in case it doesn't happen. And then with other songs, I think about what people might like, or what people want to hear, or what stories are good stories to tell. But that always comes second. I'm never really thinking about other people when I make stuff. I'm always thinking about my inner world, or what feels good and what feels right. If that answers your question.
It definitely does, and that's such a beautiful response. Hope, how are we going on the chat line?
Tumbleweed.
Hello, I'm Hope. How are you, Izzy?
Hello, what's your name?
Hope.
Hope.
Yeah. Hey, some people on the chat line said some really nice things. Hannah James said, "What a treat." Krisha Tubal said, "Never have been played live." Yes. I just wanted to say thank you for joining us on Imagination TV, Izzy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hope. I like that you're bright pink. I think that's very fitting.
Yes, I like that I'm bright pink too. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. We're going to go and see our other artists. Hey, Curly, how are you going there?
Get a lot more shape and colour. starting to get a lot more shape and color. Pretty happy with what's happening here. I guess like all things with art, sometimes you come to an image and you realize maybe you've gone too heavy-handed in some parts, or you'd like to rework other parts. So there'll be some changes, but I think that's the beautiful thing about making art, rolling with the punches and seeing what evolves.
Very, very cool. Thank you. Hey, Barc, how you going? My name's Hope.
What's up, Hope? How's it going?
I think it's a really good time to be hopeful. You know, I think sometimes when you're positive, you get to be able to be really hopeful. What do you think, Barc?
I agree. It's all about hope. You got to have hope. I hope everybody's having a good time out there.
It's kind of infectious, you know, like if you put a smile through your body and then you give it to someone else, then they get a smile in their body. And then suddenly you're talking to a dog from California and everything's okay.
Actually, I'm from Jersey, but it's okay.
I read my notes wrong. Will you use some empathy and forgive me?
Of course. Always, every time. Empathy.
I prefer Jersey.
Yes. Dirty Jersey.
I like everywhere. I'm so empathetic. Rianne, have you got a question for Tahni?
Yeah, Tahni, I'd just like to know how you're going.
Going good. I'm just adding all the little details. So if you look on like a real Banksia pod, you'll see it's got all the little holes that the spurs come out of it. Just adding some detail.
Very gorgeous. Is there a way we can get our hands on any of this pottery you've been doing?
Yeah, of course. So I sell through Instagram on Tahni Leona Creative, and I've got all different things, and these are only new. They're really excited. I'm really excited about them, so there'll be heaps coming out in the next few weeks.
Well, I reckon they're really excited as well. It seems like the excitement is just moving around everybody. Brother Asanti, how you going with the beat? Are we almost ready to jump in with Hayku, Kyah?
Yeah.
We got you.
It's coming through. Just gonna check if you can hear this. Just let me know.
Yeah, can hear you well. Kyah, how are you?
There we go. I'm really good. How are you?
Yeah, awesome. Are you ready to rumble and share with us what you've created?
Thus far, I totally can. It's not going to be complete, but it's cute. It's cute.
Let's do it. Let's jump into it and we'll have a bit of a chat afterwards.
All right. Should I play it on my end? Can you guys hear that? I do want to take a quick moment to acknowledge that this work has been created on the land of the Manchu people of the Kulin Nation. Sovereignty was never taken. Shout out to our frontliners, all the essential workers who are equally as scared as the rest of us but still have to go to work. And shout out to all the artists who have been told that their work is not essential. And obviously, shout out to Percy for making this beat and Imagination TV for having me. You make another short time, this one ice. Don't let it pass you by. Another living your honest life. So that the sunshine can find the wondering. Only just hold on. Every day, whoever forgive what you cannot own. And if you can't forgive, then you can't let it go. But you deserve a smooth ride.
Kyah, let's have a crack without the tune, because we're losing your wonderful words just for now, and then we can. Why don't we play? We'll play the beat maybe a little bit afterwards, and our imagination can put the two together. So I'd love to just hear your words, because we're losing your words a little bit. So let's have another go, because I really want to hear what you're saying.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, this is very comfortable for me. I am a poet after all, so all right.
We've got a module we run with the kids at our pop-up imagination factories around the world called Failure Time, where they get to go around to all these different stations for an hour and try something that they've either never done before and fail as hard as they can at it, or go to something they think they're a pro at and fail even harder. So you're in the safest space ever. It's Imagination TV, caught by Failure Time. Anything you do is going to be safe, and everyone is going to support you. So just go for it. We're really excited for you.
Failing is the best way to learn. Let's go. You've only got a short time, this one life. Don't let it pass you by without a good fight to live in your most honest light. Limited exposure to the sunshine. confined to wandering inside your own mind, and you can try to resist the ride, but only for so long. Scared of what you might find, replaying everything that you ever did wrong. You cannot forgive what you cannot own, and if you can't forgive, then you can't let it go. But you deserve a smooth ride, head down, heavy hitter, high ram, nothing bitter, cup of tea for a little something sweet to induce sweet dreams. Nightmares are reflective of life's fears, like the greater that we are, the harder that we fall. So why bother at all? Wallflower, peel yourself off the wall. Tall tower, please do not crumble. You are who you are, and the choice was never yours. Do not hide behind closed doors. What if tomorrow never came? What's your greatest cause of pain? And if you asked around, who would say the same? Caught in the maze of your everyday, prioritizing only what's immediately in the way. Nothing stays the same, so your friendships fade away. You got to ride or die, day one kind of kinship, but life is wild, haven't seen them in a minute. Only good vibes, always have a good time, but time is short in the should've, could've, would've life. Take the time to make it right. It's a new day, everything has changed. Nothing feels the same. Everybody's burden is everybody's pain. And when everybody's hurting, who leads the way? If you see a rough sleeper, look a little deeper. Neighborhood keeper, thank them for their service. Nobody is worthless. If you're seeking purpose, sink your hands into dirt, inevitably unearth the work it took to instill the worth. That is where we got up to.
Awesome. An amazing collection of complex thoughts made so accessible. Thank you for helping us think about people walking through all these different pathways in their life. And often I think we forget all of the orbits of everything that's happening around us. And yeah, that idea, as you talked about, being sort of trapped in your today and forgetting about all the potential of tomorrow. I think if we can get out and do that and build that bridge, it's going to be really special. Brother Asanti, can we just hear a bit of the track from your end, and we'll try and mash them together in our imaginative minds, and then we'll come back for a bit of a chat.
All right, no worries. Just 1 second.
It's okay, we'll have another go. We'll try. Kyah, do you just want to play the track just for us for a little bit, just so we can get a sense of what Brother Asanti created in the 25 minutes, so we can just hear it and appreciate the work of you guys together.
Yeah.
As we work on a cool little fade out here. We've got Marley Zeta saying, "This is amazing," talking about your poet, Hayku Kyah. We've got Brianna Saltner saying, "Wow." Becky Smith saying, "I'm speechless. Thank you. Only everything. Incredibly deep, relevant words." Thank you, Brother Asanti. Thank you, Kyah, for joining us. Hayku Kyah for being a part of this. And appreciate your patience as we navigated this cross-continental orbital force of connection of what we're trying to bring together. And I think the one thing that came through for me, beyond the wisdom, the thinking, the richness, the depth and the bravery of your words and the music that came with it to lift us up, was the fact that I can feel how much this matters. And when that feeling goes into your work, that is a true gift. So thank you for giving a little bit of yourselves to me and to those that are listening. And I believe artists are the most important people that we have in this world. And this is a time for artists to rise up and continue to help shape the way we're going to think about what the future looks like. So thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you. And I couldn't have said it better myself.
I'll get some writing tips from you offline and we'll do some training. Hey, KirliSaunders, how are you? What's going on? We're getting to the end of the challenge. Where have we landed?
Good. We've landed here.
Awesome.
Yeah. Can I read the poem for you that has inspired this work?
I would love that.
And thank you, sis, for that incredible poem. Oh, beautiful. I've just misplaced it. Here we go. So this collection is about following the dreaming to try and decolonize identity. So coming back to the earth, to the self, and sharing your gift with community. And this poem is called Earth's Intuition. And I wrote it after tying white ribbons around scar trees with Auntie Trish up in Unganangara country. So the fires had wiped out a big collection of trees that are really important to our community. So this is about how we were drawn towards those trees. Earth's Intuition. I lace the white gift wrap ribbon around my thumb in the car as Aunt talks me through the scars, their purpose, origin, gender, and significance. I imagine them being cut, wonder how old they are, wonder if I've met their makers on new paths. I promise those old people that I'll follow their lead today, that I'll walk softly, swaying as they speak intuitively, that I'll see the bird landing, its feather falling, in a breeze turning up ash and dust, twisting a leaf untouched to a crack in the earth beneath a branch just that might fall. I give it a wide berth and land face to face with the thick base of a tree, charred and scarred, and I smile and say, Didgeriguraniini. Thank you. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it, but we've got tiny little feet, probably best this way actually, tiny little feet of a bird. And this is that path of that feather and that leaf being turned up that have taken me towards a scar tree.
Thank you, Kirli.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking us into your story and into the story of so many people that have come before you around those trees, and yeah, letting us have a moment to be connected to that. So thank you so much. Tahni, how are you going? Are we finished? What did we get to?
Finished. So this is it wet, and it will dry and then look like this one. So you've got all your little details. And then once you glaze them and put them in a kiln, this one's got a really natural glaze on it. So it'll turn out like that eventually.
Cool as. Hey, thanks for taking the time to create. How was it making in 25 minutes? What was the pressure like?
It was definitely a challenge. These usually take quite a while because all those little dots have to go in one at a time. But I think it's good. I think challenges in life are always great and they help you grow. So now I know I can make it faster than I usually do. So that's definitely more efficient for me.
Awesome. Yeah, this whole experiment is basically just about creating a production line of artists so we can just get more and more art out there and inspire more and more. Thank you for joining us and being a part of the show today. You've been awesome.
Thank you so much.
Barc the Dog, bring us home. What do you got?
Ish. Well, so from sketchbook to animation, obviously I would like to clean this up a little bit more and put some color on it, finish his body, but got the basic animation going on. Little roach climbs up his back, grabs that burger, gives another burger to the next roach.
Perfect.
Empathizes with poor roaches.
I think we've just got to get a little imagination TV that then dives into and then opens up a universe of brain exploding, and then we can just share it with everybody every time we do the show. It's very cool.
Here's a little roach for you.
Thanks, man. I really love cockroaches.
Yes.
What? Thanks for joining us, being a part of the show, brother. Thanks for the way you create. And yeah, I love the fact that you just move into these ballistic orbits. You know, the beauty of imagination, I think, and one of the things which I'm very passionate about with the work we do with kids around the world is there should be no limits to a thought. You can follow that through line and just keep going and keep drifting and keep exploring. And then if you want to tap into something cool, let it stop there for a little bit, but then pick up the thought and maybe let it dance again and let it wander and let it fly. And what you do is just, it's imagination personified. And thank you for letting your brain go there, for trying to somehow wrestle with sanity and come back to the real world time and time again, and then go out there and dance for us. So thanks for everything you do.
Thank you, man. All the fun, everybody.
Awesome. Rianne, how was that for you? What did you learn?
You know, Jack, I'm not often speechless, but I feel like the combination between artists, music, creators, you know, we've had incredible poets, and yeah, I can't really find the words for how humbling this episode has been and how much I've just enjoyed being able to sit in and listen and to meet all of you. So thank you so much for joining us today and for inspiring kids around the world and for inspiring me to continue to turn up and to keep doing what I'm doing. So thank you all for your time.
Hey, Ree, what did you learn from co-hosting this week? As first debut on live television as a co-host, what did you learn?
it's a lot harder than it looks watching from a TV. You have an incredible ability, Jack, to be able to understand what people are saying, to be able to link it to other people when it may not be relevant at all, and then to make sense of this whole show and to be energetic all the time and to be humble and bring aspects of yourself to it it's a big job. So congrats to you, and
awesome,
thank you so much for the opportunity. And yeah, it's been really exciting.
Hey, pleasure. Thanks for doing what you do, which is just show that anything is possible if you put a step forward. And I think that's my final message today as we leave the artist section. We just cop out in life often. We go like, oh man, that person's famous, or that person's like really good at that, or that person's an inspiring leader, or that person's that. And that allows us to go, oh, I can't ever be there. And the reality is you can if you put one foot in front of the other. It's all every mentor keeps saying to us. So if you want to paint, you become an artist the moment you buy a canvas and get some paint. From then on, you're an artist. Everyone has a voice. Everyone can sing. So when people say, I can't sing, that is rubbish. Everyone has a voice. So if you want to sing, sing. If you want to paint, paint. If you want to be a writer, write. Everything that's in our brain, in our body, in our souls urges us to create. It's one of the gifts of being a human being. It gives us a chance to help translate and make sense of the world. And story is us. When we don't live with story, we don't live a fulfilled life. And so I'll just go back to what I said earlier. This is a time for artists to rise up and to help define what the world's going to look like. We're in a revolution right now, and I can't wait to see the world that we create together. And I really hope it's a much fairer world than we have right now. So thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for being a part of Imagination TV, and we'll catch you all next week. Over and out.